So Sisel's got just an amazing array of products, right? And they all fit in the category of that anti-aging, right? If you could live healthy and you could live a long time, I mean, who wouldn't want to be healthy, right? If you can get rid of all the health problems you have and tomorrow you can run around the block and feel like $1,000,000. So Sisel Ripped is one of the first products that we're going to talk about. And, you know, Katie, you work out a bunch. You've been in some bodybuilding contests. What do you think about this product?
So I really love Sisel Ripped. So when I first started taking it, I did notice that, so I go to the gym 3 times a week and I work out. So I do legs 2 days a week and then upper body weights the other day. And I noticed that a lot of people don't like doing weights because you get what's called DOMS, which is delayed onset muscle soreness. And that's where you get like micro tears in your muscle because you're ripping your muscles so that your muscles can grow stronger or denser or bigger, healthier. And that actually then results in a feeling of kind of pain and kind of achiness in the muscles anywhere from, often it's 48 hours after working out. So I noticed with the Sisel Rip that when I took it, I didn't get that DOMS after the 48 hours, it just wasn't there. And then I've done a test just in the last couple of weeks, I've stopped taking it. And then I went and did a back session, and then when I was at work I could really feel the DOMS on the second day. So I feel, for me personally, this product really makes a big difference. So yeah, I highly recommend it. And this product is not just designed for people doing exercise, it's also designed, as Kurt will touch on, for people who are elderly and all ages.
And that's what I was just saying, you know, Katie, being a bodybuilder, right? That's what she takes it for, right? But if I'm giving it to my grandma, is she going to buy a product that Katie's using to build muscle?
No.
Absolutely not. $21 million worth of research went into the design, into the patent of this product, and it wasn't designed for people like Katie. You know what the National Institutes of Aging put the research into? Because they found that building your skeletal muscle was just as important as building your cardiac muscle as you age. Skeletal muscle is just as important as cardiac muscle. That's what this product is for, right? So when you're talking to somebody and you say, do you want to age healthy, right? But the side effect that they found is like Katie found out, she can get rid of that muscle soreness, that fatigue that it has after working out. You can send somebody to the gym and they can build their muscles up. What a great product, right? And I think it tastes good. I'll mix it up just because I like drinking it. I think it tastes really good. I brought it with me. I was on the jet down here, 24-hour flight. I drank 3 of these. And I'll drink, you know, when I go to the gym, I'm drinking 3 a day. Because I like it. So the Fire and Ice Tea, a couple years ago, Dr. Allen came with us and worked with Tom to design a product that was a low glycemic drink that gave you energy. It boosts up the thermogenic properties, right? And thermogenic properties are, again, important for fat burning, right? Who wouldn't want to burn more fat? Right? If you can get rid of that bulge over your gut and burn that fat off, right? But for people who are already in shape, you look like you work out, you keep yourself in shape.
Yeah, 80 hours a week.
Yeah, and you take because you want to have more energy, right? And it's great tasting. I mean, you guys have summer all year round down here compared to what I have up there. Now, it's my buddies right now, they're out fishing on a lake with 2 feet of ice on it, right? Drilling holes through it, poking a rod down there trying to find fish. And so here we have a product that gives you energy. I like it in the summer. We have winter, so I don't really drink iced tea in the winter too much. But here, great product all year round for that. And I think it's great tasting too, right?
Yeah, a lot of people like taking a Barocca too. And I prefer taking the Fire and Ice because it's got a lot of B vitamins in it. And it's also got like buffered caffeine, so slow release caffeine to give you a boost. And it's got the antioxidants as well. So I find this a really refreshing drink, so I highly recommend it. And it's a great replacement for something if somebody's drinking a lot of like Diet Coke or diet drinks. So yeah.
Yeah, get them off the soda, right? And the Siseline, last year when I lost that 40 pounds, this is my main product for the weight loss. What it does is because of the fiber, right? When you take fiber, what does it do when it gets in your gut, right? It's like a sponge. It kind of expands and fills it up, takes care of the hunger, makes so you're less hungry. The other thing that it has a certain kind of protein that when your body uses it, it actually puts it to use and makes it so that your body can build more muscle with it, right? Like I have 3 boys and they all like to work out, and they say, well, Dad, yeah, I'm taking a protein that has 25 grams of protein. Yours only has 13, right? 13 is in this, right?
Yeah, but it's such a high quality protein that I remember asking a previous staff member of Sisel, and they said that it was equivalent to really more like 18 grams of protein because it's such high quality protein.
Right, because your body can use it.
How many pages? More like 18 instead of 12, yeah.
Yeah, and because it's a micellar.
Bioactive, yeah.
Yeah, micellar protein versus, like, who cooks? Does anybody cook? Right? Like if you take something and you have something that you're mixing in water and you want to thicken it up a little bit, what do? Cook it a little bit, and you cook the water out of it, right? So when they're making cheese, that's where they get the proteins, the whey proteins. That's what it is. It's the protein that's left over after they make cheese. And so what they do is they take and they boil off the water, right? But when you boil the water, what it does is it denatures it. It makes it so that the proteins, they're denatured, so they're not the same as they were in nature. So now your body doesn't know how to use it. If you have something that's useless laying around your place, John, what do you do with it? Get rid of it, right? And so if you're taking protein, your body doesn't know what to do with it. What's your body going to do with it? You throw it out. You got to get rid of it. And that's what happens with most protein. And so that's why this works really good. Plus
it's got peptides and polypeptides in it, so it's bioactive. So a lot of other protein powders that you buy on the market are actually dead protein, so they've been completely denatured through heat. And so Sisel use a micro cold filtration process, and it's taken from organic cow's milk, and all the milk fats removed. So is the lactose as well. So yeah, it's a great product.
So back in 1998, the Nobel Prize was given to a group of scientists because they found that L-arginine, what it did is, you heard me talking about that when I was talking about the predictive aging, your cardiovascular system aged, the arteries aged, and what happens is they got hard, right? And so if you got the heart, which is basically it's a pump, and it's pumping the blood, when it does this, when it pumps, what's it doing? The blood pressure is going from the 80 pounds to 120 pounds. That 40-pound change, just like that, right? And so what happens is the arteries have to stretch to accept that extra 40 pounds of pressure, right? Anybody here a plumber? Right? If all of a sudden I increase the pressure in the pipes, just like boom, like that, what's it do to those pipes? Sometimes they can explode, right?
Depends on the size of the pipe.
But they can explode, and so in your body you want to make those arteries so that they can absorb that. And so L-arginine got the Nobel Prize because they found that they could do that. They can make those arteries so they stretched, right? 1998 Nobel Prize. Well, so there was a lot of L-arginine products that came on the market. I remember I was prescribing to a lot of patients of mine, and I said, "Here's what you need. Here's what you need." And like Jim was talking about, Tom figured out how to make these products that are like out of this world, right? And so he took that L-arginine science and he basically expanded on it. So it's not 1998 science like everybody else is using. Guess what? We've got 2018 science. And here's a product that makes your cardiovascular system work, and there's some other things too, right?
Yeah, it helps with your energy, so it helps boost your overall energy levels. I personally have found that, and I find that it works really well in combination too with the age pill. So yeah, it's a product I love. It also supports the natural human growth levels in the body, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it keeps the human growth hormone up, where it's supposed to be, right? Anybody that's into anti-aging, you've heard of human growth hormone, right? So here's a natural, an injection of a drug, right? Drugs, the average drug has what, six side effects? Mm-hmm. So here we have a way we can do it naturally and you don't have to worry about the side effect. Isn't that a bonus? Mm-hmm. You dang right.
Can I just ask you a question? My wife's cousin is one of the strongest blokes in Australia. You know, very strong. Lately he's had stints in his arm because he's aching, you know, pains and that. Now you've got a stint in the heart and they want to use this stuff. What might happen, you know?
Well, the stents actually, if you take a look at stents, there's been no long-term studies on a stent. Everybody know what a stent is? Right? You have a part of the artery that's plugged, and they put a balloon in there basically and they expand it out, right? Again, being a plumber, you put something in the pipe, you expand it out. It's going to push more blood through, right? But it still doesn't make it stretch, right? So before and after the stent, it damages it. So this product's actually going to make it so the stents are going to work better. So it's a great product for that. Yeah. And then on top of it, what happens is that if you take a look at hormones in the body, as you look at aging, what do the hormones do? Right? They start to dive like that. If you could take and bump that back up, that's what Tom's put in this product. He's put ingredients in there like L-citrulline and some other amino acids like that, and peptides like Katie was talking about to make that so it works better.
Yeah, so Ultramax, so it's an energy boost drink. So if you're feeling tired and you want to pick me up, instead of having like a V or some type of drink like that, you could reach for an Ultramax to get a boost of energy. So yeah, it's a great product, and do read the label as well. So the recommended dosage is a third. So I found this product to be very effective.
What'd you say, a recommended dosage is a third?
A third of a bottle.
Oh.
Really? Yeah.
That's why I have trouble. I drink 3.
What if we drink all one?
Well, I've had the nice and rush.
Yeah, you can get a nice and flush.
It's awesome stuff.
Yeah, so if you, that's dependent on a few things. Everybody's different. But, I mean, it's always better to start less and build up, isn't it?
I guess that's the truth. I always thought you're supposed to open it and you throw the cap away and you drink it. That's what I was taught.
Oh, right.
No. But that's what you do too? And then you wonder why you're jumping around all day and can't get to sleep at night. But it's really good for migraine headaches too. I really like it. If you know somebody that has migraines, you have them do like Katie said, just drink a little bit of it. I actually did know that. I'm just teasing. But you get them to drink a little bit of it and it helps with the migraine headaches, because migraine headaches are caused from this either too little or too much blood flow to the brain, and this helps to kind of balance that out.
Well, the age pill. It's probably no one in the room, or probably everyone in the room's heard of the age pill. If you haven't heard of this product, wow, is all I could say. The amount of testimonials that we get for this product is absolutely phenomenal. This is Sisel's top-selling product. When it was released, it went out of stock within 2 weeks, and then they made some more, and they thought they had enough for 6 months supply, and then in another couple of weeks they ran out of that. So it's a very popular product, and there's a reason for that, and people notice very powerful results. Some people notice them quite quickly, others it takes a bit of time. Myself personally, I've been on the product, I've noticed some great results with it, including more hair. My hair's thickened up a lot, but my skin's improved, wrinkles, memory, more energy, and I'm also giving it to my dog who's 14 years old. She's a Labrador. So with Milo, her grey hair's probably reduced by about 50% on her face. That's one thing we've noticed. We've noticed that she's got more energy, she's more feisty, she put on more muscle. Overall her health is better. So, and she's 14, so we feel she's getting better, not worse. So hopefully that continues for quite some time. Sure, she can't live forever, but it's just nice to keep her healthy, and I feel that she's really healthy. So Kurt will have plenty to say about this product.
Oh, this is an amazing product. I go to a lot of anti-aging seminars. 2 years ago, I was at a seminar out in San Diego, and they were talking about nicotinamide riboside, and they were talking about, you know, the different things of lipoic acid and that. And so right away I went out and I grabbed these ingredients, right? And so I've got a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. And I'm taking $200 worth of these ingredients, right? Per month. And I'm putting together kind of my own formulation, like a little chemist putting these things together, you know. You ever buy your kids that chemistry set? Yeah, I had one of them. I still play with it, right? And so I'm putting this thing together, and I noticed that right away, the first thing I noticed, I went to school for engineering, I went to school for chiropractic, and half the time when I was going to college, I was one of those, again, kind of weird students. I was telling Katie and her mom about it last night that I went through 2 years of physics, and I never bought the book, right? I'd go to class, and I'd sit there and listen to the instructor, and I'd show up and take the test, and I'd go to class, take the test, and I never bought the book. And a memory was just like that. You could tell me your phone number, and 2 years later, I'd remember his name and his phone number. I didn't have to write it down. That's how sharp my memory was. And over the years, you know, I just noticed that all of a sudden I'm getting home at night, and I got a pocket full of Post-it notes, right? Anybody ever do that? You pocket, you pull them out, and you're like, oh, yeah. You know, I'm having to write down Jim's name. I can't even remember his name anymore, right? And that's how bad my memory was getting. I started taking the nicotinamide riboside and this lipoic acid, and my memory went back up. And I'm out there. I got a black lab too. Mine's not quite as old. I just got an 8-year-old black lab, and I'm out walking my dog, and all of a sudden I'm walking, and I'm noticing that I can hear noises off to the side that I just gradually, you know how you just forget that you're because it just comes on gradually. So you forget those little things, right? And you forget like the colors of the trees and all that. Everything just kind of gets a little bit blurry, right? Have you ever noticed that? Things aren't quite as bright. You're not quite as bright. Things aren't as bright. And I started taking that, and all of a sudden it started coming back. And when it hit me that this stuff was there, it's like, wow. And then last May, I was talking to Tom, and he and I have gotten to be friends, and Tom and I are talking. He said, I'm coming out with this new product this summer. And he starts telling me about it. But he wouldn't tell me what the ingredients were. And Katie and I were talking a little bit after that, and I said, I think I figured out what the ingredients are. And so we were talking about it. Remember that last spring? And I told Katie, I said, I'm already taking them. And I told Tom, I said, yeah, I'm already taking that. And he says, what are you taking? And I told him, and he said, how much you taking? And I told him, he said, triple your dose and see what happens. Right? And I tripled my dose, and then when the age pill came out in July, right? End of July, it was like, instead of tripling the dose compared to what I was putting together for $200, I was mixing my own, packet of whatever I was taking, and it was costing me $200 a month to do it. Tom comes out with the age pill, $60, right? How much in Australia?
It's $154 for a 2-pack. So
for a 2-pack.
70.
Yeah, so for about $75 then. And you're getting like 2,500 milligrams in comparison to my 300 milligrams for $60 versus $200. That's the difference with what we're getting over here. And holy cow, this product is just so amazing. And you saw the slide that I was talking about with stimulating the stem cells, reactivating your stem cells. Here we got a product that supports that mechanism in your body to make it so it supports that stem cell reactivation. And we were talking about cars. Remember we were talking about how you don't drive your car without changing the oil? But you drive your body for how many miles you put on your body and you never change the oil, you never flush it out? Here's a product that effectively, what it does is it's like changing your oil for the first time in your life. And I hear people saying, oh, I felt this and I felt that. Yeah, you change your oil for the first time. It's going to be amazing on what you have. And I just hear all these people telling all kinds of just crazy testimonials. We did a testimonial call about 2 weeks ago.
Was on autoimmune and MS.
And it was just crazy.
The key to I found, because I got my age pill long after you guys, because this thing was so popular, it was selling off the shelves, the staff couldn't get any. And then when we had Tom Mauer Jr. come out, I was talking to him, and I was kind of saying, look, I've started taking it, but I haven't noticed anything, earth-shattering. He said, how many are you taking? Now, as a managing director of the company and somebody that does not have a medical background, I can't tell you to take the product in certain dosages. I can't prescribe or anything like that. But Dr. Kirk can, and Tom Jr. can because of his qualifications. So when I told Tom that I was just taking what was prescribed, he says, Jim, he said the dosage is worked out on average for a person that's between 80 and 85 kilos. He said, so how heavy are you? And I told him, and he said, right, you need to be taking this many a day. So I started taking 12 a day, 3 times a day, and within 7 to 10 days, I noticed a huge difference, just an incredible difference. Normally, type 2 diabetics, about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we start falling butt, you know what I mean? We just get really tired and fatigued. I have not had that. You know, I was doing 20-hour days in the Cambodian jungle digging wells for water the last 2 or 3 weeks, and it was like I was 25, 30 again. So
isn't that cool? One of the latest studies, when Katie and I did this call, I don't know if anybody was on it, but we did a call, it was a week ago Friday,
Yeah.
and we did a call on the age pill, and we were talking about this new science that's coming out of Harvard. They're actually saying that the ingredients, not the age pill, we can't make this claim on the age pill, right? But we can say the ingredients in the age pill, Harvard science says that what they found is that it reverses autoimmune disorders. And specifically what they're working with is they're working with multiple sclerosis. Right? You know anybody that has multiple sclerosis, MS? Right? And what happens in multiple sclerosis is that the immune system, something triggers the immune system to make it go haywire. And what it does, it starts to attack the immune system, the nervous system, and it starts to eat away with it. And it eats away at the insulation on the wire. And if you cut the insulation off your wire, what does it do? Shorts it out. So in your nervous system, how'd you like to have a nervous system that's shorting out all the time? Would you like that? No. Right? So what they found is that the nicotinamide riboside, which is one of the active ingredients in there, they found that what it does is that when you're taking that, it gets the immune system so that what it'll do is it'll start protecting the nervous system. Right? So the immune system was attacking it, now it's protecting it. And then after a period of time, after it's built up this protection, not only does it do that, but now what it does is it goes back and it starts to repair the same nerves that it was damaging. And they're finding that in mice that they studied using this nicotinamide riboside, they're finding that what it does is it actually goes back and repairs it. And these mice that had MS, it's gone. If you know somebody that has some kind of an autoimmune disorder, asthma, Lou Gehrig's disease, right? Any kind of autoimmune disorder like rheumatoid arthritis. I was talking to somebody here earlier today about inflammatory rheumatoid type arthritis. You put them on this, and it's going to help reverse that based on the studies. Again, we can't say the studies are on our product, but they're based on some of the ingredients that are in our product. And then when I was talking about how the stem cells are activated, and we're talking about the resveratrol in the grapes, right? And the resveratrol needs fuel to work. Here's the fuel. So when you're taking resveratrol, right? So every time you drink a glass of red wine, you should take an age pill. No, I'm just kidding.
So for somebody who's got rheumatoid arthritis, how many age pills a day should they be taking?
I've got an 80-year-old patient of mine out in California. She was taking 18 a day. So she was taking 6 in the morning, 6 at noon, 6 at night. And her arthritis was so bad, she was on the call with us that night, and she said that where it was so bad she could barely walk, after she had taken the 18 pills a day for less than a month, she was back dancing. My mom, who's 78, she had this neuropathy in the bottom of her feet, so she couldn't walk because of the pain in her feet. And I was talking to her and Dad one day, and I said, "Yeah," I said, "this is really supposed to help out with neuropathy." And my mom says, "You know what? It's gone." And she'd been on it for 2 months.
Have you got that on the website? Or
What's that?
have you got that on the website?
Do I have it on a website?
It's on his Sisel World channel on YouTube. If you
Yeah.
type in Sisel World, Kurt's created a channel and that testimonial's on
Yeah, and it's a Harvard study on nicotinamide riboside. It's not on our product. Again, that's what you have to state. But they're actually doing some studies now. They're saying that for people who've had chemo-induced neuropathy, right? You know, people who have been on chemo and all of a sudden they get this leg pain, this burning leg pain. That's chemo-induced neuropathy. Harvard is suggesting that they're going to do some studies on that because they're saying it might be the answer to that. Again, we don't know. We can't make a claim on our product, right? But that's what Harvard is saying. That's pretty dang cool.
Yeah, fantastic.
Is Harvard testing our product?
What's that?
Is Harvard comparing our product with what they
Is Harvard comparing our product? No. No, Harvard is actually working with GlaxoSmithKline and they're trying to come up with a drug.
They work with drug companies mostly.
Right? Isn't that the dumbest thing ever? You got a natural product that works. There's no side effects to it. University of Iowa took nicotinamide riboside, and people say, well, how much can you take? Right? Does anybody ever ask you guys that? How much can you take? They did a study down at University of Iowa, one of the doctors there, and he actually took, and he was using, again, mice, and he took the equivalent of giving a mouse 5,000 milligrams per kilogram. Right, and you guys use the metric system here. I use pounds and ounces and things like that. But think of that, 5,000 milligrams per kilogram. Dennis, how heavy are you in kilograms?
95.
Huh?
95.
35?
95.
95.
You know, so 35 on this.
I don't know milligrams,
35
kilograms.
pounds.
So he's 95 kilograms, right? He can take 5,000 milligrams per kilogram. So 5,000 times 95, right? That's what they found at the University of Iowa. It's safe to take,
4.5 kilos of it.
right? You'd be taking a big ice cream bowl and eating it
Yeah.
all day to get that much. And
This big.
University of Iowa is saying that's safe, but you're not going to do that, right? Katie was asking for her dog. How much do I give him?
She's on one morning and night.
One morning, one night, for a little black lab.
So bigger than that.
No, yeah, she was normally about 20 kilos. She's probably about 22.
20, okay. Yeah, and I got an 85-pound black lab, and I give mine 2 a day as well, and he acts like a puppy again, 8-year-old puppy. Thinks he's a lap dog, though. You got to sit in your lap. 85-pound dog.
So yeah, Eternity is one of Sisel's products that make up the Triangle of Life. So this is an awesome product and works really well in conjunction with the age pill. So resveratrol, which is the active ingredient in Eternity, works in conjunction with the age pill ingredients, which has the precursors for the NAD+. So Kurt mentioned previously on his anti-aging talk about resveratrol and how it works in conjunction with the NAD+. So Kurt can continue on with that comment, but there's some science around combining those two products together.
You bet. So that's why we put these 2 slides together, because I really think a lot of times people tell me, well, what products do you take together? So I take this one along with my age pill because the 2 work good together. Remember the slide that I said that resveratrol is powered by NAD? Age pill stimulates NAD production. This one has resveratrol, right? And when you take a look at Dr. David Sinclair's work on resveratrol, remember I was talking about how he took and they were stomping on fresh grapes, right? I'd be smashing a lot of grapes. I got size 13 feet, but right? And then, so they're stomping on these grapes. These are fresh grapes, and they're taking the resveratrol and they're doing the studies on it. And they found that if you're taking the 300 milligrams a day of resveratrol, it would actually stimulate the sirtuin genes, right? And the sirtuin genes are the repair mechanism in your body. It repairs the DNA. And every day, your DNA is getting damaged 10 times, right? And so if you're not taking something to repair it, right, you're going to have damaged DNA. Why do we have so much sickness? Why are so many people getting cancer? The CDC is saying that 100% of us will have cancer by the year 2050. I mean, that's a lot of cancer. So if we can take and repair that DNA, do you think maybe we can slow that down a little bit? Exactly. And so here we got resveratrol that's been proven to stimulate the sirtuin genes. Again, studies on the sirtuin genes with resveratrol, right? And The problem with it is that most products, I'm going to run into somebody and they always say, well, I already take resveratrol. They take a resveratrol pill. What's the problem with a resveratrol pill? The resveratrol was already exposed to oxygen. And what that does is it oxidizes it, so it's 90% inactive. It's only 10% active. So what Tom figured out and what he patented with this product is he figured out how to take the resveratrol molecule and basically think of it, that you're putting a fresh grape skin around each molecule of resveratrol. So it's contained, it's protected. And then what he did is he takes the bottles and he fills them full of nitrogen. And so when you put the resveratrol in the product, it pushes the nitrogen out. So guess what? The eternity never gets exposed to oxygen until the day you crack that cap. And so now you're getting an effective product that every little shot glass is the equivalent of drinking 300 glasses of red wine. Remember, that's what I said it takes to turn on the Sirtuin genes. That's what Tom put in there. He doesn't just put a little bit in there. Like he says, he doesn't wave the chicken over a pot of boiling water and call it chicken soup, right? He puts the whole thing in there and makes it so that it does what it's supposed to do. And we've got some effective products that way. And this is a really good tasting product too.
That's great. Yep, it's beautiful.
I could drink the whole thing. I don't use a shot glass anymore. I was over at Trevor's place the other day, and he's taken and he every day he gives me a little bit in a shot glass. I'm waiting for him to hand me the bottle.
You know who else likes it, Kurt?
What's-
Milo. She loves it.
Your dog loves it?
Yeah, and then Buddy gets upset because he doesn't get any, so he's licking the rest of hers out of the bowl when it's finished.
So our dogs are fighting over it.
So Kurt, when you say to take it with the age pill, do you take it at the same time as the age pill?
So I'll take my 4 Restore and my age pill, and I'll just throw them down. I brush my teeth. I do everything like that. I go downstairs. I go to my fridge. I grab my resveratrol bottle, my Eternity bottle. I chug it out. That's what I did at your house the other day, Trevor. And I put it back in your fridge. You're just hoping I was doing it to Char's bottle, not yours.
Just because I've got the apple pie, right?
That's why you let the spider in my room. So the fucoidan is just another amazing product. I mean, here you have an ingredient that really, when Tom was first looking at this, that fucoidan, it's an extract from brown seaweed. They were taking an extract. It made it so expensive to get an effective dosage of it. I was like, it would have cost, if he would have followed the plan that everybody else was doing, a bottle of this would have cost over $300, right? And we know what we pay. We pay what, $48 for it?
Yeah, it's a bit more here, about 70.
70? Yeah, in Australian dollars. But when they first looked at it, when Tom first looked at it, it would have been over $300, close to $350 for a bottle of this. But what Tom actually did is he figured out how to extract it in a way that he can keep the price down. But not only that, compared to the original formulation that he was looking at, this is actually 3,000 times more powerful than what the original formulation was. And again, we can't make any medical claims on it, but what I can tell you is that when you take a look at fucoidan, what it does is something called anti-angiogenic, right? Has anybody ever heard me talking about that? Katie, I know you have, Margaret has. Anti-angiogenic, and what that means is that it cuts off the blood supply to the tumor. Cuts off the blood supply to the tumor. That's what the fucoidan molecule does. That's what the limamui molecule does. And so you can say that, and there's studies on it. If you go on PubMed.gov, you can find those studies, and it shows that that's how it works. So when you look at the book that was written, that was The Amazing Powers of Fucoidan, is the book out of Japan.
On Amazon.
And they talk about, in that book, they talk about how this medical doctor is using that for in Japan for treating cancer over there. They can say it. We can't say this here in Australia. We can't say it in the United States, but they can. But it's because of the anti-angiogenic properties of the fucoidan molecule. Just an amazing product.
And the Limimu, so that's the seaweed, and Tom bought that from Tonga, so he was looking at all the places in the world where it grows, and he found that that was the most pristine place in the world with the least contamination. And he did make an arrangement and speak to the government over there, and they harvested a whole bunch of the Limimu seaweed, and they shipped it back to the facility, the manufacturing facility. They've cryogenically frozen it, and I heard Tom Jr. say that they had had enough for about 20 years supply, so that it was in pristine condition. So
My first experience with Croydon was a week after I joined the company. I'd never used it, and I went on a tour with Tom Senior. Some of you may remember that when I first introduced myself. I met a gentleman out in Perth by the name of Ross Hulskopf, if you look him up on Facebook in the Sisel community, and he had stage 4 prostate cancer, and so he and his wife did a whole ton of research on Croydon, and they were spending somewhere in the vicinity of $600 a month just on Croydon, and he was hitting himself hard with it. And by the time he went back to his oncologist, it had actually shrunk, and the oncologist said, I don't know what you're doing, but whatever you're doing, keep doing it. And he'll tell you now, if he was here today, he'd stand up and give a testimonial. He's in complete remission, and he puts it all down to Croydon. And the thing that triggered that is exactly what you said, is there's something in it that just stopped the growth of the tumour.
Cut off the blood supply, the tumor can't live.
it's also great for boosting overall immune system as well. So if you've got a virus or a cold sore or anything like that, and you take some extra fucoidan, and you'll find that you'll probably feel better a lot quicker.
It's one of the best anti-inflammatories as well.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, like people who have asthma, people who have rheumatoid arthritis, again, it's another great product because it balances that immune system out, and that's what you want. You want balance. Everything in your life should be balanced, right? Good, bad, should be balanced, right? If you don't have any bad, you don't know what to compare it to your body. You need a little bit of stress. And inside your body, you need that too. And so this product helps to balance that immune system out. Really, really good product for that. So kind of my story, I've been a chiropractor now for just over 30 years. 10 years ago, I was riding my Harley Davidson up there in North Dakota and going down the road, and some guy ran a stop sign and hit me at 65 miles an hour. T-boned me at 65 miles an hour and tore my right leg off. When I woke up on the highway, I'd not been knocked unconscious. My foot was up by my ear, and I'm not that flexible, right? and my leg was twisted around, my foot was pointing backwards instead of forward, my foot was smashed into a gazillion pieces, my femur was sticking through my pant leg, the jagged edge of the bone. Luckily, the blood vessels didn't get cut, and so I didn't bleed to death, but I had this big gash in my head, blood was rushing down my head, and I bring this up because what happened was that then I woke up on the highway. Next thing I woke up, I was in a hospital 4 hours away, and I'd been in a coma for 2 days. And the doctors, luckily, they didn't cut my leg off, but they said, Kurt, if we don't cut your leg off, you're never going to walk again. And they wanted to amputate my right leg. That's how bad it was. And I made the decision that I was going to keep my leg, right? And it's still my leg. I can, right? But I spent 2 years in a wheelchair, and I really was trying to figure out what am I going to do, because of course the guy that ran me over didn't have insurance on his car. So instead of getting a settlement to pay for my my loss of income, I got a $300,000 medical bill, and so I had to cover that. So there went all my life savings, and I'm stuck with this. 45 years old, I'm in a wheelchair, and I'm trying to figure out what am I going to do for the rest of my life. All I'd ever done is been a doctor, right? I'd never had a job. I've never worked for anybody else. So who's going to hire me? I can't take directions very good. I mean, Dennis, if you tell me something to get up in the morning and be here at 9, I'm not going to listen to you because I don't have an alarm clock, right? And so I went looking for a network marketing company because I knew some people who had made some good money with it, and I another story with my son with asthma, but I found out the network marketing companies had some pretty good products, and so I'm driving down to an environmental medicine conference where I was a guest speaker down in St. Louis, and so I'm driving from Fargo to St. Louis, and I stopped in Omaha to visit an old friend of mine, and he gave me a bottle of TSX, and he gave me a little audio on it, right? And I'm listening to this thing, and I just heard of telomeres. I just learned about telomeres. Telomeres being the fuse on your DNA, and it kind of determines, how long you're going to live. And I'm listening to this audio on TSX, I thought, I got to know more about this company. And a lot of you, I mean, I've talked to people here who have known Tom for 25 years, right? Some of you even longer than that. And I thought, well, how can you be in here in Australia and know somebody for 25 years? I'm up there, I'm just in his backyard basically, and I've never heard of the guy. And here he's got a product called TSX. This product compared to the next best product that deals with telomeres, if you look at the science on it, this product's like 300 times more powerful than the next best product. And price-wise, what do you guys pay down here for?
$125.
$125. Do you know what the next best product, do you know what that sells for? $500. Right? And it's 300 times less powerful than what we have here. And so it's an expensive product, but at the same time, it's about a third, maybe a fourth of the price of what you can get anywhere else. And it extends your life by building those telomeres. Remember, I was talking about it on the slides when we were talking about anti-aging. And so if you can build that telomeres up, you're going to extend your life through that. Nobel Prize, that was 2009.
Yeah. There's a great news clip on YouTube. If you search on YouTube Diane Sawyer's and Mice Fountain of Youth, so they talk about telomeres and telomerase. So Sisel's product has the ingredients that supports those in the body, and they have some great pictures of old people jumping in the pool of the Fountain of Youth. Anyway, when I told my mum and my brother that I was going to take this product and how excited I was about it, they're like, oh, don't take that, you know, you might become a mutant, you might get cancer, you might get this, you might get that. And I'm like, well, I'm definitely taking it. So yeah, they sort of think a bit differently to me, because I said, you know, this was a new product, and they said, oh, you know, you should wait. And I said, well, it's been around, you know, the science of it's been around for enough that they know that it's pretty safe. So, and after the first week of being on the product, I noticed that I didn't need to sleep as long, and I had more energy, and I felt better from this product, and that was when they first brought it out. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so then, I was just thinking about this as you were talking. Everybody here, I mean, because I think, isn't Mel Gibson from Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mel Gibson does a fundraiser every year out in California. Him and Sylvester Stallone do this fundraiser, and Gene Simmons is part of it as well. And anyhow, so I was Gene Simmons' chiropractor for a while, and they put together a fundraiser for children. And anyhow, so I was the, what do they call it? Like a goodie bag that they give everybody. And so we gave Paris Hilton and Gene Simmons and Mel Gibson and Sylvester Stallone, all these guys that paid $10,000 a plate to be at this dinner, they all got this product, and they got to hear about the science behind it. It's really cool. I mean, you start thinking about all the people that have been on it. You know, some of them still take it, some of them don't, like whatever, you know. But it's really cool. It's just a great product because it increases the lifespan. So, and your dog takes it.
Yeah, she's also on that too. So Milo's on the TSX product, the Age Pill, the Triangle of Life, and the Super Omega.
Yeah.
Milo got his own candle.
He glows in the dark when he walks down.
Her dog will live forever.
No.
And you know, again, I like to read science. I'm reading science journals all the time, and so Harvard Medical did a study back when I first got into practice, and they said that it was like somewhere near 85% of people didn't get enough minerals in their diet. 85%, right? So 15% of people were getting enough vitamins and minerals in their diet from what they ate. The other 85% didn't. And so you'd think that people would have improved that, right? We have plenty of food, right? Shouldn't we have plenty of nutrition? And so what they found is that when they restudied it, they studied this again, I think it was 2 years ago, and they found that 99% of people are missing at least 5 key minerals in their diet. 99%. In my opinion, when you're talking about 99%, you might as well round it up and call it 100%, right? You're not, even if you're into gambling, you're not going to gamble that you're the 1%. And so every one of us is missing key essential minerals. And so what Spectramax is, it's a way of getting all those minerals in a little tiny shot glass, and you can get all the minerals that you need for the day, plus you get 40 antioxidants. And it's just one of those things that every day you should be doing this. Again, I took a chug out of Char and Trevor's bottle out of the fridge. But
Yeah, so I've had some great testimonials from people on this product. I had a testimonial from a young guy who had sarcoidosis, and he let me share it actually on the Facebook testimonials group. And he said that after he had his breakfast, he had his first shot of the Spectramax, and that he hadn't been for a swim in a long time, and his energy levels really increased, and by the afternoon he was off into the pool swimming. He thought, oh, maybe it was just, a coincidence, but then he felt over the course of the next 1 to 2 weeks he was reporting back that he was feeling even better. So he was really wrapped with this product. And I've also heard Tom Jr. say, if you could take one of the nutritional products, and I guess Age Pill would probably be at the top now, but Spectramax would be right next to it because of the trace minerals.
yeah, definitely. Speed it up?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm a coffee drinker. I like coffee, and really just kind of sum it up. This is the healthiest coffee that you can buy on the planet. She told me to speed it up.
Yeah, it's a great product.
You're not even a coffee drinker.
No, I'm not a coffee drinker, but I do know, it's got Chaga and the Gouda Cola.
Yeah,
Some other
and one of the things that's in Gouda Cola is in the coffee. We've got chaga that helps balance out the adrenal glands. Just kind of real quickly, is that it balances out the adrenal glands. So here's a coffee that actually makes it so you can handle stress better. And then Gouda Cola helps make the connections in the brain better, so you have better memory. So if you're talking to people, here's a coffee that makes it so that you have a better immune system. You have better brain. You have the Bacopa that helps again with the connections in the brain. And then the Ganoderma, which the Chinese have used for years as just a natural stimulant for the body. Comes in both black and then in a ground. So the Avenger product, do you guys get Lyme disease down here? Yeah. Is it bad? Yeah, it's really bad up there too, and people are coming down with sickness. Of course, a lot of the doctors, they won't talk about it because the FDA jumps down the doctor's throat if they mention Lyme disease. And the main reason that they do that is because there is no cure for it. Medically, there is no cure for it. But Tom took and he mixed a bunch of ingredients from kind of ancient Chinese medicine, ancient Native American medicine, along with modern technology, and he came up with a product that bumps the immune system way up. And it really helps with people that have Lyme disease. I like it for some other things because people who have a lot of stress. Anybody ever feel stressed out? Right? If you have stress, great product.
Yeah, and shingles, I've seen a great testimonial for shingles for this product. Somebody's mother had it and they started taking the Avenger and it really started to clear up quite quickly. So they found it very powerful to support her body. So, yep, great product.
Compass 360 again, just being a good, rounded type of a multivitamin. It's got a lot of your vitamins and minerals and everything that you need. You combine it with some of the other products like the Spectramax and the Age Pill and the Resveratrol. It's in the Eternity and all that. It's giving you everything that you need for the day. That way, if you're, eating the standard Australian diet where you're eating, maybe food that's not quite so good for you, you know that you're getting what you need.
Yeah, and this is a great companion product with the Spectramax as well.
A lot of people, they tell me they're taking fish oils already, and they say, well, I'm not going to take the super omega. It's more expensive, right? And so they're looking at just the omega. A lot of times, what happens is, have you ever bought like oil that you're cooking oil and it's gone rancid on you? Right, it's got a bad taste, it looks brown, things like that. Right, can you imagine taking a chug of it? Not at all. And so a lot of the fish oils that are on the market are actually made with oils that have gone rancid. And they put it into a capsule and they think you're going to take it and they think that it's going to work. It's really not going to do what it's supposed to. So what Tom figured out is how to make a product that again, it doesn't spoil once it's in the pill, But the other thing is that there's different kinds of omegas. You got cod liver oil, you got salmon oil, you got canola oil, you got your olive oils. But there's a lot of different kinds of omegas, and each omega-3 has a little bit different quality to it, right? I mean, it's like Trevor and I were talking about fish the other day. Every fish tastes different, right? So wouldn't you think that the oils would be different out of each fish? And that's the thing. So when you take and you mix the super omega, it's got that blend in a way that you're getting all the advantage of it. And then on top of it, there's a lot of new research on omega-7, and then we're adding CoQ10. CoQ10 is an enzyme that's specific for the cardiovascular system. And we're putting it in there so you don't have to go buy separate CoQ10. It's in the product. So when you're taking omega, you're getting your CoQ10 at the same time.
Yeah, and this is one product my mother will take. She's anti-supplements, and she will take the super omega.
She takes that one.
Yeah.
There you go. With calcium, you know, there's a number of different ways of looking at it, but with calcium, what happens is that, remember the slide that I was showing you during the anti-aging presentation? It said that your bone starts to break down somewhere in your 20s, 20 to 30, your bone starts to break down, and so you need to get a certain amount of calcium, but it has to be in balance. It has to be in balance with calcium, it has to be with magnesium and potassium and all that. So, but they also found that vitamin K2 is so important with the bone health. And so this has the calcium, it's got the magnesium, it's got a blend. But the thing that I looked at right away when I first started looking at this product, I sat down and I asked Tom, I said, what kind of calcium does it have in it? And again, thinking about calcium, calcium from bones is the type of calcium that our body's going to use to build bones, from bones to build bones, right? And if you take most cow bones from the United States, they found that when they take the cow bones and they grind it up and they get rid of all the organic components of it, what they found is that most calcium from cows in America has lead in it, right? And you'd think that the FDA, you know, as smart as they are, would have said, well, we can't let that company sell you that calcium with lead in it, right? Because would you take lead? If I put some lead in your water, would you drink it?
No.
Why not?
No side effects.
Because it's toxic to you, right? And so there's all these calciums up in the United States. So when I asked Tom right away, I said, where do you get your calcium? New Zealand, right? They have the strictest laws. And the one thing that I do know is that the calcium that comes from the cow bones in New Zealand, it doesn't have lead in it. They actually test for it. So that's the kind of calcium that we have in here. And they found, it was actually a study that another friend of mine, he actually had to present it in front of the FDA, and they showed that the calcium hydroxyapatite, which is the form of calcium that's found in our calcium product, it can actually build bone density. And so there's some studies on PubMed that you can look at, and calcium hydroxyapatite is a type of calcium.
Yeah, so Balance D. So it's got pre and probiotics, and as well as fibre, and it's also got vitamin D in there as well. So gut health is super important for overall health, because they do say that a lot of your health depends on the health of your internal health, so your gut health. And so this product really assists to balance out the good bacteria in the bowels and in the digestive tract, which has a lot of positive benefits. So before Kurt talked about anti-aging, and he even mentioned, what have you eaten if you're in a bad mood? So, how good your tummy's feeling can affect your mood and your overall health.
The other thing is that I really like to point out to people, because they look at this and they go Balance D and they see the D. Right away they think it's a vitamin D product. And then they look at the dose of vitamin D and they go, oh, you guys don't have hardly any vitamin D in your vitamin D product. The D doesn't stand for vitamin D. Guess what it stands for? Digestion. Right? So it's a balanced digestion is what it means. Not balanced vitamin D, balanced digestion. So always remember that when you're talking about this product to people.
Yeah, so Brain Vitality. So this is a really great product. I know I've had a lot of testimonials from this product. I personally take it as well. I've noticed at work, like when I was feeling tired in the afternoon and couldn't concentrate as well, after taking this product, I feel a lot better. Also felt a bit smarter after taking it. I thought it was a bit of a coincidence, but I actually do think it's the product. I've got a couple other people that take the product that actually love it as well. So this is at the top with people's favourites as well.
Yeah, and it uses a special form of magnesium that actually crosses the blood-brain barrier, right? Your body has a protection mechanism in the brain that doesn't allow everything to go into the brain, right? But they found that magnesium, you can hook it up to different types of things, different chelators, and they found that this magnesium threonate is the easiest form of magnesium to cross through the blood-brain barrier, and it makes it so that you have enough magnesium, and you need magnesium, and that's one of the things that they're finding with people with dementia and Alzheimer's, that if you can keep the magnesium levels up, it can slow down the progression of Alzheimer's and dementia. So just a great product for that. Body Shield, when I was talking to Tom, when Japan had that big earthquake and tsunami a number of years ago, and they had all the radiation over there. They found that there's certain ingredients that you can use for the body, and the thyroid is really affected by radiation. And so what Tom did is he developed products. It was specifically because of the earthquake and the tsunami over in Japan that he developed it. But for all of us, thyroid is a real, at least in the United States, a lot of people, Synthroid and thyroid medication is one of the top 5 medications prescribed over there. It's one of the most common causes of depression. But so this product helps to balance out the nutrients and it helps to support a healthy thyroid.
And everyone loves eating fish, and particularly, I do. Some people like tuna. Tuna is really high in mercury, so this product can help support the body to remove heavy metals as well. So and we also get those sort of heavy metal exposure on a daily basis. So having a product like this can really help the body as well.
Kitty, just a quick question with the heavy metals.
Yeah.
Fucoidan does that too, doesn't it?
It has some of the same ingredients, but it's different. It's designed for slightly.
Yeah, the fucoidan isn't as concentrated as the Body Shield. Plus, there's some other things in the Body Shield.
The thyroid, with people that have got their coitus or whatever, is that good for that?
That would help with that, yeah.
That would help for that. Like you could actually increase
Yeah.
the dose.
Yeah, and if you take a look at the thyroid, right? Again, does anybody enjoy chemistry? Couple people, yeah. But you remember your periodic table? You remember the rows and the columns, right? And you had iodine and chlorine and fluoride and bromide all in one row over here. And so what happens is that iodine can exchange with chlorine really quickly, right? Has anybody ever been exposed to chlorine anywhere? In your water, right? Anybody ever been exposed to fluoride anywhere? In your water, right? Your toothpaste, right? And so what happens is that can bump the iodine out, and it can affect the thyroid. So with the Body Shield, they find that can actually help with that by helping to pull that stuff out. The Renovator is really just an awesome product for people that have joint problems, rheumatoid arthritis, degenerative arthritis. It helps to support healthy joint function. It helps to basically rebuild the joints. And with a 2006 study, showed that turmeric is more effective at preventing joint inflammation than any other natural product on the market.
Inner Chi. So Inner Chi, they've got an Inner Chi for her and him, which is overall hormonal health. So hormones are really key when it comes to aging and having the right balance. So this product has ingredients that supports hormones, and I'll let Kurt explain a tiny bit on that.
Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. Yeah, just get the hormones balanced out, you're going to be healthier. Macular degeneration is the most common cause of blindness in the world. And so Tom formulated a product that has ingredients in it that's supposed to help support the vision, and it's supposed to help prevent the macular degeneration is really what this product does. Your body is exposed to toxins every day, like Katie was talking about. You're exposed to toxins every single day. And those toxins, what happens is that what a toxin does, why is it called a toxin and not a poison, right? A poison kills you. What does a toxin do? It pushes out the nutrient and it takes its place. So for example, if Dennis was a nutrient and he's sitting in the seat that he's supposed to be in, if I pulled him out of there and I put some iodine in or some lead in his seat, right? That's what a toxin does. Now, he's not going to sit down there. He's not going to do that because there's lead in the chair, right? Because he doesn't want to expose himself to lead. But that's what a toxin is. That's different between a toxin and a poison. And so what Super Detox does is it helps your body going through the different phases, the phase 1, 2, phase 3, getting rid of the toxins, putting them into something safe, and then dumping them out of the body. So that's how this product really works.
Yeah, and we had a discussion the other night. A group of us were talking about the health of the colon, and
Thank you.
I didn't even know this, but apparently you build up what's called colon plaque. It's pretty. I mean, it's probably not the discussion you want to have with everyone, but if you go onto Google and you go and Google the word colon plaque, you'll very easily what it is. And then we were talking to Kurt about it, and he said, yeah, that actually builds up over time as you sort of get older, and that and all the foods that you've been eating, because your digestive tract, was it you're saying 20 meters long?
Yeah.
20 meters long. So as it builds up, it affects how you're absorbing food and stuff like that. So this is a really great product because it breaks down that plaque
Yeah.
in the actual colon and just really helps clean you out. So what did you recommend? Twice a year?
Twice a year. Yeah. Yeah, think of it like this, like has anybody ever, especially guys when you're in college, do you ever have an oven that you never cleaned? Right? Anybody do that besides me? One of us? Anyhow, if you don't clean your oven over a period of time, it's going to build up a caking of stuff on the inside, right? And the heat from the oven just bakes it on, and pretty soon your oven's so dirty you just might as well throw it away, right? And so you spray some oven cleaner and it breaks that stuff up. Well, inside your gut, remember that inside your gut, it's always at a high temperature inside of you, and so it's baking all that stuff on the inside of the digestive system, and this helps break that up and gets it so it comes out of the system.
Yeah.
So what we say twice a year, what?
You could, so it's a short dose. You only take it over a 5-day period, and you just gauge it. You follow the instructions carefully on the bottle. It's 15 capsules per bottle, and so Kurt was suggesting that perhaps somebody was keen, they could do it once every 6 months.
Would that help with diverticulitis?
What's that?
Diverticulitis. It's a problem with the colon.
For colitis?
Yeah. Diverticulitis.
Diverticulitis, yeah. So it helps with that to clean it out, but a lot of the diverticulitis is inflammation. When you see itis on anything, it's inflammation.
Yeah.
So there's some other products that work better for it, like Balance D would probably be more powerful in helping out with that. Yeah, by cleaning that out. So the influence, I'll tell you, I've never taken it. It's one of the products that I've never used. I mean, I never used the fingernail polish either, but I never used the influence because I just don't get sick.
Sure. I reckon you get made up at least once a week.
Yeah, but you guys aren't going to come to North Dakota and see me. Too cold for you up there.
I have a testimony about the influence.
Okay.
My mother is 84, 85. She had this cold. She reluctantly agreed to actually try this influence. And 2 days later, she rings me up and says, I do not believe this. I've got so much energy. And she's still on this influence tablet, 1 a day. Amazing.
Yeah.
Because it actually helps to clear the inflammation in the brain.
Great product. I'll probably start taking it because some people say I have a fat head. So if you take a look at Transfusium, really, if you go to the Sisel Beauty site, you're going to see my beautiful picture on there. I was the first Sisel distributor ever to get to use that product. I was at a seminar at Tom's house. There was about 50 of us there, and Jim, you know how Tom can goof around, and he said he's looking around the room, and he throws it over to me. He says, "Hey, Kurt," he said, "you need this worse than anybody else." And I took a before picture, and I started using it, and in 3 days, every day I was taking pictures of it because I just wanted to see if it worked, right? I mean, I'm just some dumb guy, and outside all the time, getting sunburnt and all that. And I started using it, taking pictures. 3 days later, I could see a change already. And if you go to the Sizzle World Team channel on YouTube, you'll see a time-lapse video that a friend of mine put together. He took all those 30 days worth of pictures and he put them onto a time-lapse, and you can see my skin changing every day to where the crow's feet and the rosacea just disappeared in 30 days using that product.
So I guess when I think about Transfusium, I really think about it working in conjunction with all of the skincare products. I wouldn't just use Transfusium by itself. Whilst it is a great standalone product, I highly recommend combining and doing the full skincare regime. Obviously, if you're a guy, you're probably not going to do that, so you might just use 2 of the products. But transfusium works great, and it's used normally in the skincare program in the you can use it morning and night, along with the other skincare products, which we're just going to go through fairly quickly now.
You bet.
You don't dismiss the whole market of metrosexual men out there.
Right.
Skincare is getting more and more current for, 25
You bet.
to...
Yeah, guys are realizing that, hey, if we're going to live to be 100 years old, do I want to look 100? Right? I want to look pretty.
I mean, the skincare range is definitely hands down, I feel personally, the best skincare you'll find on the market, and you'll notice the difference on your skin within a week if you actually give it a go and try them. I did hear you saying that they'll have a pack eventually with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, they're putting together a wealth builder pack with the skincare. Jim, do you know when they're going to come out with that?
No. But now that we've got everything in New Zealand, it'll come a lot quicker than it has previously.
There you go. I heard 1st of March it'll be here, but I don't know.
So exfolium, at first I didn't really, to be honest, I thought this was overactive for me and I couldn't use it. And that's changed about 4 months ago. So what this product is, it's a really great product, particularly for teenage skin, people who suffer from acne, it can support that. But it just really leaves the skin feeling soft and moisturised, and it just removes that dead skin. You can feel it balling up on your face. It gives an instant effect, so you can notice the difference before and after in the mirror, I feel. And for myself, I had trouble using it initially. I thought it was a little bit overactive for my skin because it was quite thin. But then since taking the H pill, I can now use this product twice a week, whereas before I couldn't use it. So I was pretty amazed by that. I haven't told anyone that.
It's one of my favourite products to demonstrate.
Yes.
If I'm talking to somebody about the age pill or some other product, while we're getting that product out and getting all the literature, I love to give them one of these sachets and say, just peel that off and put that on, because most of us are fairly instant sort of people, you know what I mean? And when you start taking our encapsulated product, it can take 7, 14, 21 days before you really notice the difference. But if you get people playing with this sort of product and other of our skincare lines, they get an almost instant result, which gives a fantastic amount of credibility to anything that they're going to ingest. So.
Yeah.
Exactly. Great product to demonstrate, like Jim said.
Yeah, so the cleanser leaves your skin feeling soft and moist and removes all the oil and grease. So I really wouldn't use our skincare without using the cleanser. It doesn't really make sense to go and use another toxic brand in conjunction with ours. I mean, you could if you want to, but it just works in combination really well. It's a great product. Yeah, so this is, I heard Tom talk about it. It's actually got peptides and polypeptides in it. And it's really great for reducing the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles around the eyes and forehead. But Tom said, you feel free to use it all over your face. So I like to use it all over my face.
Yeah.
Because it's such a good product, and you do notice the difference. So we've got some awesome before and after photos with this product. There's lots of them on the Sisel Testimonials Facebook group.
The thing that a lot of people that say, well, why don't we just use transfusium? And your skin around your eyes, the skin around your lips is a different kind of skin. It's a lot thinner. It doesn't have all the turbiculation behind it. And so this is formulated specifically for that thinner skin around the eyes and again around the lips. So if you know anybody has those lip lines, works great. Right, Jim?
Yeah, I use it all.
You don't have lip lines anymore?
Actify 6000, yeah, this is an awesome product. So this really locks in the moisture. It's unlike any other moisturizer you'll find. And after you've used it, you'll feel that your face maintains its moisture. So I think the 6000 is because 6,000 times moisture locking properties. So it's also got a natural sun protection in it. We can't give it a UV rating because it's not approved here in Australia for that. But it does help to protect the skin, to support the protect and the skin, yeah.
Yeah. It's I've heard it's got an SPF of about 15. So, but officially you can't say that.
Yeah, so the night cream. So the night cream is a fantastic product. So your skin's repairing whilst at night. So putting this on before you go to sleep is really great. So there's an active ingredient, and I do know it's just Thank you, ergothymine. I heard Tom talk about that ingredient when I was 26, so I'm 43 now. He was saying about how expensive it was, how difficult it was to get a hold of, and that a lot of companies don't use it in the dose required for it to be effective in skincare. And he said, you know, within his skincare, I think he's used it at 2 or 3 times the
50,000 parts per
yeah, the therapeutic dose. There we go. So this is in rapid repair, and so it's another reason I love the science in the products, and you'll definitely, I feel, you'll get a result with it and notice your skin feeling a lot more youthful.
It really is a great product to use.
Yeah. And Skin Do is a moisturising mist, so you can use it multiple times a day. It locks in the moisture and stops your skin from drying out. It's great if you're travelling on a plane, or you know, even in summer if your skin's feeling dry. So you can spray this on at any time during the day, and it also works in with a skincare program to prepare the skin for the skincare products, and then to also push them further into the skin.
Yeah, it'll drive all the other products deeper in, right? To make it so it's not just sitting on the surface of the skin; it's going deeper. Again, helping the trabeculation, helping the deeper layers of the skin, the tissue. So with the dish soap, most dish soaps have a sodium lauryl sulfate in it. They got the sulfates, and again, sulfates trigger some different things to happen in your body that can cause cancer, it can cause heart disease, it can cause immune issues. And so what Tom designed here was really a product that'll remove the grease and the grime off your dishes, but at the same time, it won't cause any harm to your body. So, great product to use.
Yep.
Again, with sodium lauryl sulfate, most laundry detergents, they have sodium lauryl sulfate, and what that is, that's concrete cleaner. And it's used in concrete cleaner, but you wouldn't want to put it on your body. Most of us wear clothes sometimes during the day, and so when you have clothes against your body and you have the sodium lauryl sulfate, it rubs out of the clothes, rubs into your skin. So if you wash your clothes with Vibrant, what you're doing is you're preventing from getting the sodium lauryl sulfate in there.
So we've got our Sapphire shampoo and conditioner. So again, this is, as Kurt's just mentioned, it doesn't have any nasty ingredients, so no sodium lauryl sulfate. Or any other ingredients that are harmful. So people find that their scalp feels a lot better, and the condition of their hair is a lot better as well. So let the conditioner go next.
Kind of falls in the same category with the conditioner, yeah. Toothpaste, we talk about fluoride affecting the thyroid gland. Here we got toothpaste that doesn't have the sodium lauryl sulfate, it doesn't have the bug killers in it. A lot of toothpaste, if you knew what the ingredients were, why would they put bug killers in there? And they put like insect killers in your toothpaste. And here's one that doesn't have that stuff, and it doesn't have the fluoride on top of it.
And this toothpaste works in conjunction with the next product, which is the Terminator mouth rinse. So it really provides a great dental program together, and I've noticed a great difference with it, and a lot of people, we get some great testimonials with these two products. So
They're probably our 5th and 6th biggest selling.
Enliven Bath and Shower Gel, awesome product. So you're not going to find any potentially harmful ingredients that are commonly found in many types of other shower gels, such as your sodium lauryl sulfates, propylene glycol, all of those sorts of ingredients that really denature and strip the skin and can cause irritation. So it's a great bath and shower gel. Another benefit that you'll find, or that I've found and many others have, is that when you use this product, your shower screen won't get that build-up of grease, I guess, that you get from using other shampoos and soaps. So you'll find that you probably don't really even need to clean your shower or even bath for quite some time if you're using the Sisel shampoos and bath and shower gel. Similarly, the Bar Vitae Spa Soap. This is a beautiful bar soap. So for those who prefer a bar soap over a liquid, this is a great product and leaves your skin feeling soft and moisturized, again with no potentially harmful ingredients.
So that's all of our products, kind of wrapping them up, and we'll kind of give you like a brief overview and things like that.